The calm before the storm.
Europe believed it was safe. The sea was a border, not a threat. Monasteries stood open, unprotected, their walls built for faith, not war. No one watched the northern horizon, no one listened to the warnings of the wind, because no one imagined that death would rise from the sea, silent and unstoppable.
Shadows on the horizon. As the fog swallowed the sea, dark shapes appeared on the horizon. Longships cut through the waves, silent, fast, and determined. These were not traders, they carried no peace. With every strike of the oars, what was coming closer to Europe was fear itself. And now they were close. There was nowhere to run, only time left to wait. The first contact. The Vikings stepped ashore, armor and shields ready for battle. In their eyes, no fear, only death in their hands. And then, the first scream was heard. The monastery gates were shattered. Defenseless Europe was taking its first blow. Fear spread and weapons echoed through the air. The fall of the sacred. The sacred was no longer protected. Fire climbed the stone walls. Gold scattered across the floor. This was a place of prayer. Now it echoed with screams. This was more than a raid. It was a message to Europe. No place was safe. The fear of the defenseless. The monks fell to their knees. Prayers left their lips, but no answer came from above. These men felt no fear. They showed no mercy. In that moment, it was clear God was silent, and the fear was real. Vanishing into the sea. The Vikings left as they had come, leaving fire and smoke behind. The sea swallowed them once more, but the fear remained on shore. This was not an ending, it was a warning, and Europe was beginning to understand. Fear spreads across Europe. The raid did not remain a secret. Stories spread from mouth to mouth. Dark men from the north were whispered about. Some called them a punishment from God. Fear grew, and one name fell over Europe: Vikings. Doors were locked, prayers grew louder, every gaze toward the sea trembled. The horizon was no longer hope, but threat, and the fear remained. The birth of a new age. Lindisfarne was not an exception, it was a sign. The sea was no longer a border, it was a road. The men from the north were not only seeking gold, they were reshaping history. And so, the Viking Age had begun. All of Europe trembled, and step by step, that fear spread everywhere. Kings were caught unprepared. The world would never be the same again. From men to legend. They were not just warriors. Over time, they became something else. Stories made them larger than life. Fear carved their names into darkness. Those who prayed at night saw them in their dreams. Children were warned with their name. To some, they were demons. To others, men sent by the gods. But the truth was this: they were brutal. They were real, and fear made them immortal. Where did truth end, and where did the legend begin? The legacy that remains. The Vikings vanished, but their stories remained. Fear turned into legend, legend into identity. Today we see them in films, in books, in songs. But their true legacy was this: they showed the world that even fear can shape history, and some legends never truly die. The story continues. This was only the beginning. The Vikings were more than a single raid. Ahead lies an age of war, blood, and betrayal. Don't miss the legend. Follow, like, and leave a comment, because the next story will be darker.